Hello everyone and welcome to Story Time. My name is Steven and today we're going to be reading some Choosing Beggars stories, recounting the many tales of people who not only want their cake but wanna eat it too. And let me just say, if you're not already subscribed to Story Time, please consider doing so. But with that being said, let's sit back, relax, and listen to some captivating Reddit stories. Woman demanded we give her a table we weren't selling. So I was helping my dad out at a car boot sale one weekend and this lady came up to us and asked about the table we had all of the items on we were selling. She said she liked it and she said she was willing to pay £20 for it. My dad explained that the table was not for sale and clearly pointed to the sign we had up, everything for sale except for the table. She looked at it and then said it was a misleading sign and that me and my dad were fraudsters because she misread the sign. After this rant was over, she then demanded that my dad gave it to her for £20 and delivered it to her for free. We were getting pretty angry at this lady because she was accusing us of being fraudulent and stupid, but my dad looked at her and calmly said, "You aren't getting the table, could you please go away?" She then threw a hissy fit saying that if we didn't give her the table, she was going to call the police on us for misguiding customers and scamming people. My dad then jokingly said, "Oh no, I don't want to go to jail. Help me pick the stuff off the table and let them get dirty on the floor so this entitled woman can have my table that I'm not selling." This made the woman go mad and she stormed away from us saying we were losing money and that she was going to tell everyone not to come to our stall. We don't know what that woman was thinking, but we were relieved when she left. We had a good selling day and sold pretty much all of the items we had. No one asked about the table, so that made it clear to us that the sign wasn't misleading. Others came up to us saying she caused a similar fuss at their stalls asking about their tables that also weren't for sale. All I can say now is, I hope that woman got her table. All I can say is, I don't know what this lady was so in need of a table for, but I hope also that she finally got her table somewhere, somehow. Person I barely know asking for free legal advice. I, 29-year-old female, am a lawyer and my field is real estate law and finance. My husband and I are looking to buy an apartment and we've been looking into some properties in the last few months. About 2 months ago, a co-worker from my husband's office told us that she had a friend that was selling an apartment in our favorite neighborhood in the city. So we called and went to visit the place. We actually liked it a lot, but ultimately decided against the purchase since the asking price was way above our budget and the place needed a lot of work. We told the seller, she was nice about it, and the thing was over really quickly. Yesterday, I received a text from the seller, 30-ish female, saying, "Hey, sorry to bother you. I know that we don't know each other, but I found a buyer for the house and I have a lot of questions regarding the legal aspects of the selling process. You mentioned in your visit that you're a real estate lawyer, so I was wondering if you can give me your email address so that I can send you a list of questions. Could you do me the favor of answering them as I don't want to spend extra money on legal fees?" I did not answer to the text and I don't know how I should approach the issue, but I am actually pretty ticked off with the question. I would not hesitate to help without charge if it was a friend or even a minor acquaintance. I do this all the time. I earn a living by selling my name and expertise in the field and have no idea how she could think that I could waste maybe hours that I could otherwise be charging to help someone I have absolutely no connection with. I am tempted to respond that if she wants the help, I can give her a fee quote. On the other hand, I am worried that she reacts badly and tells my husband's coworker that this puts a strain on their professional relationship. In my view, it just seems like an over-entitled idiot. Edit. Sent a reply saying that I would be happy to help and provide a fee quote for the services and that we could meet in my office so that she could explain her questions and I could provide an estimate for my fees. This was on Monday. No response so far. I kind of get it in like a shoot your shot kind of thing, but I don't see how somebody could expect to actually get free legal advice from somebody they don't even know. I think they probably just toss it up there just to see if it would stick and get some free help, but it's probably pretty obvious that it won't work out that way. Choosing Beggar tries to commit theft. So for some backstory, I'm 15 and sell art and stuff at craft shows and I look like an easy pushover according to most people. On to the story. So a few weeks ago, my town was holding a craft show in which I was selling steampunk-esque necklaces. Some handmade chokers, dog collars, and art pieces as well as a few other things. The necklaces are $10 USD pre-made or $15 custom. Quite reasonable for the amount of people buying them, supplies needed, and time to make them. Apparently, $15 was too much for the Choosing Beggar. choosing Beggar while I'm taking a custom order from a young man. Excuse me, I asked to have a black chain skull bottle with August and November's birthstone in the bottle. You said it should be ready by now. Me to the woman. 1 second, let me finish with him and I'll be right with you. I do these alone. My mom walks around there in case I need her to help and to drive me home. Okay. So I finish with the man and tell him to come back in about 30 minutes and turn to her. I'm sorry, ma'am, how may I help you? Choosing Beggar basically repeats the same phrase as earlier. Okay, ma'am, how would you like to pay? I take cash and PayPal. Goes to my mom and after the day we transfer to me. Cash? Okay, ma'am, it's $15. Well, I only have $10. Well, I told you it was $15. Can you do 10? It's for my sick daughter with her kids' birthstones. Well, ma'am, I'm sorry I can't give it to you. As I'm putting it down on a box with others to sell later, if you can't pay, it goes in the box. Choosing Beggar huffs out. Won't $10 do? You're not 16, you need an adult anyways, it's the rules. I'm not alone, my mom went off to check on something. I turn to help someone who's been waiting patiently and see my mom and flag her down in case this lady tries something. My mom, as she walks over, says to me, OP, turn around. I turn around and see choosing Beggar with the box of to sell items and grabbing hers. What are you doing? Well, it's mine. My mom says, is it OP? In that voice. I explain the whole situation and my mom tells her she can't have it if she can't pay. Choosing Beggar decides to walk off with not just her necklace, but also 3 others. A nice man noticing the situation chases the lady down and grabs the boxes, returning them to me. Here you go, little lady. Security noticed at this place the people around backed my story and choosing Beggar got kicked out. Nice man ended up getting a discount to use when he wanted for getting my stuff back since I can't leave my booth since I don't want stuff stolen. Honestly, I've read so much here but never thought anything would happen. What an absolutely horrid person. Not only is this a legitimate craft like birthstones and everything custom, but they're stealing from a minor who's only doing it because they love it with a passion. In my opinion, this lady should absolutely feel ashamed of herself. Choosing Beggar demands I give her a donation to Goodwill. Background: my family is having a plumber come tomorrow to do some work on pipes. The crawl space entry is in the bottom of my closet, so I had to clean my closet out. Most of it is just blankets and winter clothes, but some of it is old toys I kept around for younger cousins. When I'm done, I decide to donate all of my old army men and army toys to Goodwill. Action figures, jeeps, helicopters, landing sets, and a model AC-130 gunship. I've had most of it since I was 6, and I'm in high school now. I was going to give them to my nephews, but my sister said no because they're too violent. And when I tried to give them to my younger cousins, their answer was always, yeah, we'll come get it later. It never happened, so off to Goodwill. So my mom and I drive to our local Goodwill donation center. They're packed since this was Sunday, so we wait our turn to drive up and give our stuff. We first unloaded our old clothes and smaller things, then I started getting my old army toys out. I walk up and help take them inside, then all of a sudden this new Cadillac pulls up in the wrong direction this way, a posted one-way drive, and asks me what I was doing.
Are you donating that plane?
Yes.
I want it for my grandkids.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
what?
go get it.
Sorry, I just donated it.
I'll give you $5 for it.
No, it's donated.
$10, my grandson needs it.
Sorry, it's donated.
I want it now, young man. Go get it. I'll give you $20 for it now.
No, it's donated. If you want one so bad, go buy one. You can afford it.
How dare you? I'm not going to pay full price when you could have just given it to me for free. Since that's what you're doing here, what a shame. How long before they will have it out front?
Me, annoyed and ticked. Lady, I'm donating it so a kid can enjoy it since I don't need it anymore. I don't care who that is, but I hope it's anyone but your grandson. If he acts like you, he doesn't deserve it. Now leave me alone. Choosing Beggar, stunned, angrily drives off, thankfully. The Goodwill donation man comes up to give me my receipt and tells me thank you since apparently she does that often and she isn't the only one and it pees everyone off. Moral is, if something is going to a donation center, it's not for sale. I don't even understand what this lady is saying. He already went and donated the item. It's not like he can just go back and be like, oh hey, I know I already donated that item, but there's this old lady in the parking lot says she'll give me $20 for it. So can I like have that back? Like, no, who's gonna do that? They went to Goodwill because they wanted to give it away for free for some kid to enjoy. Weird old lady. You will give me my money back. Okay, so I'm an autistic kid and I love computers and servers and I like building them, fixing them, everything. Occasionally, I get computer parts or broken computers from friends. I look for really good deals on GPUs and motherboard and CPU combos on marketplaces, and there was a computer company that before tossing out their old customer hardware, drives and SSDs not included, they call me so I can pick it up. I'm doing this so I can sell relatively cheap gaming computers to kids and also to try and make a buck for myself. So this kid contacted me because his friend had bought a computer from me and was really satisfied with his purchase. He told me that he would like a computer for around €500 and all he said was that he was playing some ugly cheap Call of Duty clone. Sure thing, bud, I thought to myself and was starting to look around for parts. Around a month later, I got a hold on an i5 4670K, Asus ROG motherboard, 16GB of DDR3 RAM, AMD R9 290X, this is important for later, some Corsair all-in-one water cooler that I just removed from my main rig with 2 new fans, 250GB SSD, 1TB hard drive, 650W modular power supply, BitPhoenix chassis, don't remember which one, and Windows 10 Pro. Even though this kid didn't know much about computers, I still said that I can give you a computer with these specs for €450. He said it was good and I went on building this little beast. Since I knew that I was getting more money than I usually get for computers, I put some extra love into this one. I made custom sleeves for power cables, I routed the cables for amazing airflow, I even put in some extra 120mm quiet fans in the front just so it would be nice and cool. Computer was done. I did a 48-hour stress test on the components like I always do. This kid was supposed to pick up the computer after a few days but said he couldn't. Luckily, I was going to a friend that lives around 200 kilometers away from me, and from his place it was somewhat a 40-minute drive to get to this kid. I drive from my friend's place with the computer and deliver it and I get my €450 plus €20 that he said he could give me for delivering the computer. Since he didn't have a monitor yet, we couldn't really test the computer, but I connected the power to it just to see that it doesn't beep or do anything weird from the drive there. I also say that I can give him like a month of warranty and support if stuff isn't working like they should. Around a week later, this kid contacts me and says that the computer doesn't work. I didn't really feel like driving almost 3 hours one way just to get it to work. I asked him if he connected everything like he should and he said yes. We message each other for over 2 hours while I'm trying to figure out why it's not even getting power. I ask him if we could start a video call so he can show me what he does to start the computer. This freaking kid is plugging in the power cable, he is then just flicking the power switch on the power supply and says, "See, it doesn't work." Add 30 minutes to this while I'm trying to explain to him that the power button is on the side at the front of the case and he is just, "Nope, there is nothing there." He eventually finds the button, apologizes for being stupid, and we hang up. Fast forward a few weeks and he tells me that one of the radiator fans is making weird noises. I don't want to go there again, send him a brand new fan for the radiator, and I even pay for the shipping. He gets the fan, is happy, all done now, right? Oh no, fast forward 5 months. He messages me telling me that this GPU is from 2013. I didn't expect an old GPU and the computer is really slow. Yes, this GPU is from 2013, but in 2017 it was still capable to play games. It still is today. It performs somewhat like a GTX 1060 in 1080p gaming, and since he was playing some crappy Call of Duty clone that got 300 plus frames per second with that card, I wasn't really worried. Why he experienced that the computer is slow, I have no idea since both the hard drive and the SSD was brand spanking new. He goes on messaging me stuff saying like, "I am going to buy a new GPU and you are going to help me to install it, otherwise you have to come here and pick up the computer again and give me my money back." I suffer from anxiety and had a bad week, and the fact that he thinks I'm some kind of 24/7 lifetime support just because I gave him a month of support made me really anxious and angry. I was sitting there for around 2 hours thinking on what to say to not sound like a prick. I also wanted to help him if he wanted to upgrade his GPU, even after he was demanding this. Then I get a message. "Since you're not replying, I am going to your house this weekend. You are giving me my money back and I'll give you the computer." This actually made me feel threatened. I spoke to some friends on what to do and they said that if he comes that they will back me up. A friend of mine apparently had common friends with this kid and had apparently had a talk with his friend about this. My friend is not someone that you would mess with if you wanted to be able to walk afterwards. After he spoke to his friend, this kid never visited me. To people that may think I am a prick, the price may have been a bit over market value, but he could also have made some research of his own. Also, I'm not impossible to haggle with. I've put up computers that people have haggled down 150 plus euro on. At this time, I had no job and me and my girlfriend were really struggling to get food on the table. I was only buying stuff I knew that I could flip for a profit. To clarify, I don't think OP is in the wrong at all on this. The buyer completely agreed to the deal, went through, and you can't just contact somebody 5 months later asking for a refund on something. It just doesn't work that way. And yeah, I would feel pretty threatened too if somebody said that they were going to show up and demand that I give them the money back. So thankfully this dude had some extra help and got the situation figured out where it wasn't going to affect him anymore. There's an ATM right there. Alright, so I'm getting out of my car heading towards a small store to pick up a cheap cable after mine broke. Anyways, as I'm walking across the parking lot, a woman walks towards me and I have this exact interaction with her. Do you have any change? I'm really sorry, I don't. I'm not carrying cash right now, sorry. I happened to only take my card with me when I left. Well, there's an ATM around the corner. I can wait here, but you get a 20, it's not a problem. But I'm kinda hungry, so try and get 40 instead, okay? I was so taken aback by how blunt she was, like she was legit expecting me to go to an ATM to withdraw money to give to her. Don't get me wrong, when someone in need asks and I have change, I always try and be polite and give them what I have. I would have even offered to get her a meal, but the store I was at didn't have any restaurants in its vicinity. I just chuckled awkwardly and darted to the store, in disbelief, while she shouted at me to stop being a broke butt idiot and help her. When I left the store, I saw she had moved on to the next stores, choosing beggar style. Broke butt idiot. I guess maybe this strategy would work if there was somebody that was really a pushover or really awkward and just didn't have a spine for themselves. I don't know really how they were expecting this plan to work. There's an ATM around the corner, just go get a 20 real quick. Like, nobody's going to do that. Toronto choosing beggar. So I was walking home from my friend's apartment last night in the city of Toronto, Canada. A choosing beggar stops me on the sidewalk and the following was the resulting dialogue. Paraphrased because my memory isn't word for word. Excuse me, do you have change on you that I could have? Unfortunately I don't carry change on me. I'm just looking for something to eat, like something from Tim Hortons. Our Canadian version of Dunkin' Donuts if you've never heard of it before. Oh, I actually have a Tim Hortons gift card on me. How coincidental. That you can have, and there's about $6 or $7 on it left. No, I'm just looking for money for something to eat. Do you have any cash on you at all? I'm really hungry and that card isn't going to cut it. No, but I still have the gift card that you can have. You're no help, never mind. And walks away angrily. I text my friend after and he says, bro, I told you, you are in the worst area right now. I guess he was right. It's pretty obvious this choosing beggar was after one thing and one thing only. Something to get them kinda high. I've heard people talk about how they handle situations like this, and I kind of agree with them in the sense that they offer to buy them a meal or get them a gift card rather than giving them cash straight up, because it can lead to situations like this where they're secretly just looking to get alcohol or some kind of drug. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the Storytime channel. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and let us know what you thought about these stories and leave any feedback in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching and listening to the Storytime channel.